A new room leaked, and the new survivors have had their S-tier skins revealed. For more news like this, stick around for today's episode of This Week in Identity 5. Welcome back to another episode of This Week in Identity 5. Let's discuss the aftermath of last week's patch. All the big adjustments, buffs and nerfs happened for the list of characters that I listed in the past few episodes. Finally, it happened. I've been saying that it was supposed to come each update and they never arrived, and I was a bit shocked that they never arrived, but finally they have come out. All the changes for Thief, Entomologist, Toy Merchant, Magician, and also for Breaking Wheel. And some of the changes have got the hunters a little bit worried because Dancer's buff, I think, has been the biggest change in the game. She's become a pseudo decoder, and now survivors are chomping through ciphers at extremely fast paces now. Some people are comparing her to Mind's Eye now with the fact that she can move her music boxes around and decode, also opening up gates faster. It's very crazy right now. As for her movement ability, I haven't seen too many complaints about it, but I do think it does buff her a little bit more, but I don't think that's the most broken thing about her right now. As for the Entomologist nerf that I've been looking forward to, and I think a lot of hunters have been looking forward to, I'm not really sure how much the nerf has affected her because I haven't really played against her since the update. Nobody's really played her, but I do think that it probably would have balanced her out a little bit more, and hopefully she's now someone that you can chase at the beginning, because before you saw an Entomologist and you're like, okay, I'm not chasing that. The Thief change has also been something that I have used, and I have seen it, but not very much, and I haven't played against it or seen anyone in my team play as it. I'm not sure how this will affect the character, but I think in the next coming weeks we will see people starting to master the new strategy of playing him, and hopefully we'll see some exciting new plays. I don't know, maybe something like this. Breaking Wheel's nerf has been something that I have personally felt, but I don't know how it has affected the meta or in rank right now. I still think that he's really popular and very well played because he does have a lot of strong abilities, but I do think that this nerf has hit him hard and probably knocked him down a couple of pegs. That either is a good thing or a bad thing. Up to you. With the last update, we also received the new event where you log in daily to get fragments, to get clues. Also, if you participate in matches every day, you get some water memories that are just a type of currency that you can use to access the Candy Crush game mode. And now you have access to the new game mode as well. That once you complete this Candy Crush game mode, you will get some special type of currency that you can use to buy Chang's new accessory, and also a skin for Perfumer and a lot more other stuff as well. The accessory is really worth it, so you should definitely try and save up for that because it is a very special A tier that looks like an S tier. Chinatown has also received some changes. Some palettes were removed and they have moved around 3 ciphers, although I'm not really sure as to how much they've moved them, but it is interesting to see that they've moved them. This should make Chinatown a little bit more hunter friendly because at least Chinatown has been famously known and historically known for being a bit survivor sided. So now by removing a couple of pallets and maybe adjusting some of the walls that I remember discussing back 2 weeks ago, this should be very good for the map, and I think that it will make the map much easier for hunters to play around and possibly just for survivors as well, to make it feel a little bit more natural and not so pallet heavy. Moving on to what we expect from this week's patch update, it is quite possible that we'll see Naiad's buff, and I think this is something that a lot of people have been requesting, especially since the Naiad apocalypse that I talked about in my last video. Everyone has been playing her, and I'm pretty sure everyone has worked out that she does have quite a severe weakness, although she does have some power against certain team compositions, especially if the team doesn't know what they're doing. Her first change is that she'll be able to throw her harpoon a little bit further than before, and this is something that I've been calling for since the very beginning, since the very first day. I did say on one of my streams that I thought that her harpoon didn't go as far as I would have wanted it to, so now it goes a little bit further, and connected to that, she can also now go further away from her harpoon without it being called back. It's going from 42 meters up to 55 meters. That is a huge increase in the distance that she can be from the harpoon before it gets called back again. This should be able to make water areas much bigger, but I think this will mostly be used and benefited from in the mobility part of her abilities, where she'll now be able to maybe dash a little bit further without the harpoon interrupting her dashes, and just getting around to different ciphers a little bit easier. But who knows? Her moisture inflicted on survivors will now stick around for an extra 2 seconds longer. because it is a pain when you're playing Naiad and you manage to get them up to like 98, 99%, and now you've got to wait what feels like an eternity before you get your harpoon ability back, and you watch their percentage go down and go down and go down to something safe, and you need to start over again. Especially if they go into a strong kiting area where you can't do anything about it because, you know, you've now got to follow them and chase them, and by then their thing is back to 0 or to 10% and you have to restart over again. I don't think that this will make her broken, and I don't think this will mean that she's too powerful, but I do think this will bring her up to standard with some of the other hunters, and also I think this will keep her nice and balanced and fun. But we need to wait and see because this could break her, we don't know. Also, one of the other things that she can do now is that when she's in her Torrent swimming form, I call it the Torrent form, she should be able to use Peepers as well. This is something that I think makes sense because there are some abilities that she can't use, some traits that she can't use. For example, she can use Blink when she's in swimming form, but now she can also use Peepers. I'm not sure about the other abilities though, because I don't think that she can teleport. As for other changes that we can expect, I am actually not very sure as to what else is coming. I know that there are going to be some bug fixes as every week, and it's possible that we might get the Crystal Ball Turret game mode, although I'm not very sure about that, and I don't think that it's super possible that we'll get it. Because they haven't announced a date for it. So if they did release it, that would be kind of a shocker for me, but it's possible that it will come within this week or the next couple of weeks anyway. Now to discuss the rumors and announcements that have been circulating around the Identity V community. The next Essence skins have been announced. We now know what the S tier skins look like for Emil and Ada, the two new survivors that are coming at the same time. And we know that the theme for this Essence is going to be some type of ancient demon or spirit hunting type of theme, similar to The Witcher. So this is very exciting. The patient skin won't be available in the Essence, however. Instead, you will have to buy the skin from the shop, and the skin should have a limited tag, so it won't be coming back again. The skins do really look impressive. I think patient is supposed to be the king, and also the psychologist is meant to be some type of queen or leader of a clan, I think, and she looks very impressive. And a lot of people are comparing the Feaster skin to Gamekeeper's horns as a cosplay or something like that, so I do think it's quite funny. But I am looking forward to seeing these skins in game, and I do think they're going to be impressive. We've also had a new skin reveal for Gravekeeper's Once series costume that will be available for Echoes in the shop. I do like the stone tablet kind of theme that they've gone for, and I do think some hardcore Gravekeeper fans will definitely be getting this because it is a fun looking skin. Yeah, sadly it is for Echoes though, so not everyone will be able to get it. On the topic of the new survivors though, we have a full reveal of their abilities. The patient is able to use up to 3 grappling hooks to pull himself towards a wall or an object. Depending on where he's aiming though, 2 things might happen. The first one is that if he's hitting the middle of a wall or the middle of an object, not the top of it, he will bounce off really quite far away from the wall. So you can do some type of parkour jumping thing, and it's exciting to see what people will do with that. But the other thing that he can do if he's aiming at the top of the wall is that he will quickly vault over the wall and end up on the other side. So this is something that I think might be a little bit difficult for hunters to deal with, especially since he's now technically able to quickly grappling hook himself up to Big Boat on Lakeside that a lot of people are complaining about and thinking are going to be a bit broken. So he does seem to be similar to Priestess in some ways, but he only has 3 hooks, so we'll see. He does also have some debuffs and some other abilities as well. The Psychologist, on the other hand, has some very strong abilities in my opinion. She's able to heal people from across the map. I think that's going to make hunters that are non-meta they're going to be in a bit of a bad position now. I think Photographer is really in a bad position now. And depending on how much health she has when she's healing someone, she can get herself knocked down. She'll also be able to heal herself after being hit, similar to Barmaid in this style, but this effect, as I understand, only happens once. But it does mean that she's similar to Mercenary in the way that she does get an extra hit before she's knocked down, because she's already below the threshold, so technically she'll get 3 hits. These 2 survivors are the first survivors to have an interaction between each other. They have a healing buff between each other, and I think that they also run faster towards each other when they're in close proximity. So this is interesting to see where Identity V is taking these 2 characters, And maybe this will be a new thing that's coming out soon where a lot of survivors will interact with each other. I'm not sure. We've also just had a new room revealed, and I must say that it's one of the most impressive rooms I've seen in the game. It has a ton of detail and it has a Greek/Roman, maybe villa style theme to it. It does seem to have a garden as well that I think is impressive. And I'm sure there will be a lot of people trying to buy this and decorate it as soon as possible because it is very, very impressive. Way beyond anything that I've seen them do before, at least. Moving on to the talk in the manor section of this video, where I read some of the comments from the last few videos that I released and I respond to them, maybe have some fun too. Larg talks about how they feel as if Ember's AI bots aren't developed enough. I would agree that they aren't very strong, and I do feel like even for beginners they are very easy to circumvent and to dodge, as long as you know that if you stand still they will attack. If you vault something they will try and attack as well. So I do feel like they need a little bit of a buff. Maybe they could buff it in the same way that they have given Bloody Queen's Nightmare mode. I don't mean make it so that she's invincible or that bots are invincible and can do incredible things, but I mean maybe they could pass some of that kind of programming over to the bots to make them a little bit smarter. But I still think that there needs to be a small window or small time frame where you can turn around and start dismantling it though. Maybe also they should be able to walk to the closest survivor even if they can't see them. This would be similar to Feaster in the way that his tentacles indicate in which direction survivors are. Maybe this would give Ember a little bit more utility so he knows where survivors are, but I'm not sure. XXS Delphia shows me how saying the word bonk at the end of the video that made her smile. So bonk? Grigory Kondrashev is going for an S badge for Lucino. I wish you the best of luck for that because I really do feel like his hitbox is a pain, and I know that you're going to suffer with that hitbox a little bit, so I really do wish you the best. What do you think about the new survivors now that the abilities have been revealed? Do you think that they're going to be too powerful, and what position do you think the hunters will be in the near future in Identity 5? Tell me down in the comments below, and whilst you're down there, please give this video a like and subscribe if you'd like to have some more news every week about Identity 5 every Tuesday. I have also added a new feature to my channel that is something that maybe the more astute of you may have noticed. It's called the thanks feature, and you'll see it just below next to the like section. This is a way for you to be able to tip a content creator for their video. This will also highlight your comment in a different color depending on how much that you spent. I am planning some more special things for the channel, especially this weekend. I've got a new special type of video coming out, so I really hope that you guys stick around for that. So anyway, take care guys, bye bye.